Well, let's talk about it. Everybody else is wondering why I haven't talked about it or spoke on it. But I was preoccupied. Plus, I wanted to wait until the whole fallout takes place before I start commenting on it. Paul George, Pat Bev against Dame Lillard. Now, one thing that was very interesting here, it was very telling, is the fact that first, let me get you caught up because there's actually people out in the world that actually have a life and they go out in the world and do things and they don't get a chance to see certain stuff transpire. Like, they don't get to see, the actual process take place as far as dealing with, um, the games and stuff. They might have missed it, you know. They're trying to get out and have as much fun and enjoy the summer while it's still here. So, looking back at the scenarios and the situations, you're like, man, this is getting to be a bit of a task, right? So, yesterday, the Clippers came back to defeat, without Kawhi Leonard, they came back to defeat the Portland Trailblazers in Portland right now in a dogfight with Memphis for that final eighth spot to play the Lakers. Now, the way it's looking, they're really trying to, looking at the shape of the Lakers, they would much rather them play Memphis in the first round than Portland. Portland's a little too dangerous. So the league is kind of pulling for Portland to go ahead and make it. They don't trust the Lakers at this point, especially when that bum out there playing, like a bum or like himself. So now let's look even deeper into the situation. So the game was going great. Except for the fourth quarter, which is normally Dame time, he was terrible. He was like 1 of 5, couldn't get anything to go, and then with like 18 seconds to go, down one. He drives to the basket, and they get a foul call. He blows both free throws. They get the rebound, they foul because they had to, and the other guy hit both free throws. Dame misses a three, and they lose. And Pat Bev is doing the wave as the same way Dame did when they beat last year. They beat Paul George and OKC, which basically made Russ go to another team and Paul George. That broke up OKC. That was the shot that put Russ out of OKC. Now, with that done, it all leads to this Paul George Twitter rant because he saw the post game interview where the media definitely hypes it up. You see Pat Bev, he did his hand like that, which he didn't see during the game. It was brought to his attention by the media. But yeah, us on YouTube, we the one that instigate all the beef, right? So anyway, after they do this, the whole media world goes crazy as far as social media because Dame just answered it as honestly as he could and was like, "Oh, I get it. You know, we put them out. You know, when I was in Portland, I put Pat Bev out when they was in Houston rather. I put him out. Then I turned around and I put I put Paul out last year. So for them, yeah, I could see that. They, from what I've done to them, they know what I do. That's just respect towards me because they know I usually finish the game. Which is true. You never really see Dame miss both free throws like that. He must have really been exhausted. But Portland's problem is defense. It's always been defense. And this is why they end up losing games in dogfights for the position that they're in. So Paul George decides to get on social media and start talking. And the first thing he does is start saying, first thing he gets on there and starts saying is, what he said, that phone call through my mind, and he was like, uh, don't worry, like y'all going home early again. Like get ready, y'all going back home for like a second time. So that's all basically he was saying. Like you guys are getting ready to go back home. Like what he said, like game time is almost over. Doug, don't worry, you'll be going back home soon. Game time is almost over. So Dame responded with, you know, y'all keep switching teams. Y'all keep trying to switch your teams to try to avoid the grind. And sure enough, he comes back talking about how he has 6 injuries and how things would have been different if he didn't have 6 injuries and all these different things, but he ain't gonna complain about it. He liked the position he's in now and this and that. And Dame was like, they pray and pray on my downfall, but when I hit the ground, I bounce up like round ball. It kept going. Then Dame Lillard's sister, I guess, alleged sister, I don't even know if that's his sister, she gets involved. And she starts talking some trash about Paul George, like, look, you get a stripper pregnant. Oh, I know you ain't talking. And then I'm like, oh wow. So Kawhi Leonard decided to get involved. And when Kawhi got involved, he told Paul to stop. Paul put out one message saying, oh, this is all respect and, trying to clean it all up. But Kawhi put an end to this. Kawhi's like, this is enough. Like, what are y'all even doing right now? Pat Bev was basically quiet through this whole ordeal. But he went to Paul saying, look, this is how you lose. Why are we focused on another team that's fighting to try to get in the playoffs? We got another game coming up. Keep your focus where it needs to be. This is how winning is done. This is how people win championships. They stay focused on the task. Why are we worrying about Portland and Dame Lillard? We don't, like, what is this about? The game's over. Like, we might not even play them again this season. If we play them again, then we worried about that. But other than that, we worried about who the next team in front of us. That's what it's about. We got to stay focused, stay the course. So Paul got it then. Yeah. All right, man. I'm just having fun going back. All right. Well, it's back to work. And that's how Kawhi takes it. And the rest of the team is seen to be on the same, wavelength that this is the way we got to move going forward. So I don't see this as a situation where the rest of these guys can compete with the Clippers on basketball. But Dame them, they need this to get them fueled up. But a very interesting thing that happened through all of that, Dame was by himself. As many great things that he's done for Portland, he was by himself. I ain't see CJ stick up. I ain't see nobody stick up for him on his team, really. It was just Dame. So, that's telling. Dame don't act like he needs anybody with him, but we know what it is. So everybody thought he was gonna jump up to go to LA. Nah, Dame ain't going nowhere. I told you that a long time ago. Dame ain't going nowhere. He's staying right where he at because he don't want to be one of those players. He's talked too much about those players to jump up and bounce and go to LA. But it's funny to me, these Laker fans, so-called Laker fans, but they're LeBron fans, who are now rooting for the Lakers. And so they're not Laker fans. The real Laker fans want to punch y'all in the teeth. So bad. Because I've seen them, I've spoke to them, and that's where the attitude is right now. The attitude is punch a LeBron James fan who are rooting for the Lakers in their teeth because they're not Laker fans. But everybody figured that out on their own. They should. But I'm very interested to know a couple of things. Why in the world do y'all keep following behind this bum? That baffles me so much. Like, why? It's like, are you guys under extortion or something? Like, what is it? Is the media promotions really this good? Because he was good in 2K or something? Like, what? I really don't get the fascination. I'm sitting here like, his game is garbage. Everything about him is garbage. I'm watching it like, this is trash. And y'all still follow behind this guy. It's just, and he will come on there and try to defend it. I'm like, how are you defending this? I mean, that's like somebody show up at your door and ring your bell and said, look, and dig in a bag of trash and start bringing out trash. And was like, look, this thing used to be good. This is the tomato peeler 3000. Now, you could buy this, that this was great at some point in time, and it's still great now. I know it was just out of the trash, and you probably got to wash it and clean it, but it'll still be the same once you do all that. Do you want it? You want to buy this? Hell no, get off my porch with this trash. And that's where I'm at. Get off my porch with this trash. We don't want it. So now we move forward. And oh yeah, thank you guys for the Cash App donation. I did appreciate that. That was crazy. Don't forget the Cash App donation. I mean, the Cash App is Carcino. Carceno. That's it. So, if you want to donate to the Streamlab, thank you. You can do that also. The Streamlab link is in the description box. As long as the Patreon link also is in the description box. Where we talk about the Floyd Mayweather 50 Cent actual fight that happened in the ring. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. So, yeah, I think that's about it.